What's going on YouTube? This is LC with Loyal Crypto. Thanks for joining me today. Now today, I have a gem that I think you guys are gonna wanna know about. It is called Internet Computer or ICP. So I wanted to bring this to you guys because I think it's a project that's going to revolutionize this space. So if you like content like this, please like, subscribe, and share. Now, let's dive in. Okay, now today we're talking about Internet Computer. Now, Internet Computer's ticker is ICP, and it has a price currently of $58.96. Now, this is down currently 11.9% on the day, but the market cap currently is 7.9 billion with a circulating supply of 134,693,726 tokens. Its max supply is a little over 469 million, and it is ranked number 18th by market cap. So Internet Computer actually had a huge run up, and now we're on a downslope. If you can see the max chart on CoinGecko only shows us out to around May 10th, and May 10th, that is when the market correction actually started to take place. So this doesn't give us a good outline of what ICP has done in the past, but as you can see, after the market correction, it has continued to correct, and right now we want to see where it's going to start to level off and give us some nice stable ground so we can see if we're going to go further. Now, the markets where you can get ICP is Binance, Coinbase, the big boys, okay? Should I say more? Gate.io, KuCoin. I mean, let's go in here. This is a big project. You can get it at a lot of places, so definitely take your pick. But ICP, it looks like it has some great technology, and I want you guys to know a little bit more about it. Let's go to the website. All right, so we're on dfinity.org, and this is the Internet Computer's website. So the world's first frictionless blockchain with web speed and internet scale. Now, the Internet Computer in a timeline, the evolution of the internet, we'll click in here in a second, but limitless blockchain with the power, speed, and scale of the internet. Build tokenized mass market social media services exclusively from the smart contracts. And you have SDK and Model here. And Model is actually saying it's the most powerful smart contract language ever created. So click in here if you want to learn more about Model. And here with SDK, this is actually how the Internet Computer is being built, and it's going to be built differently than the way we see our internet today. They're using canisters, so build and deploy canisters. Let's click here. Okay, so it's a funky website. I like it. And just scrolling down. So reading here, after years of R&D, the Internet Computer blockchain is removing the limitations from smart contract software using advanced new cryptography. It scales its capacity with demand and can support unbounded volumes of smart contract computations, enabling dApps to scale. New canister smart contracts run super fast and can securely serve interactive web content directly to end users. On-chain costs have been crushed and are stable. You can now code your contracts in any WebAssembly compliant language and create dApps and tokenized services for everything to chase the blockchain singularity. Now, another good thing here about this canister is, let's say if you're trying to hack the internet, if you have one thing that's on a canister, it cannot influence something that's built on another canister. ICP is building using these canisters to now stop the spread of a virus. So it feels like the internet was just the beta version of cryptocurrency, and ICP is really letting you show what is Web 3.0. This is the next stage in evolution, I feel, that we're creating, where viruses can now be a thing of the past. And of course, you can dive in here and learn a little bit more. And again, Model is a new language designed for the Internet Computer that's easy to learn from Solidity and JavaScript developers. So everyone that's building on Solidity and JavaScript, here you go. Model can be your best friend. All right, so now let's take it back. Just going down here, the team has over 200 plus members, okay? You have a team that's global, 200 plus members. I think you're gonna be taken care of. I mean, they have a solid founder, they have solid advisors, they have a team that are showing their faces. I understand in cryptocurrency we love decentralization, but just because you're decentralized doesn't mean that you don't have to show your face, or you can't show your face. I show my face. So I feel like this is definitely healthy in cryptocurrency because a lot of people are going away and they can do things in the background. I feel with just us being human, we like to see a person's face. Okay, so definitely I'm happy about this. They're showing over 200 people and their team, and it's also been founded back in October 2016. But this here just makes me happy. I think they have some great backers and some big hedge funds that actually supported this thing early on. So this is a project that I think can go places in the future. Now let me dive into the chart and let you know what I'm seeing. All right, I'm gonna start off this session a little different. I think the charts that we have on TradingView is not showing the full story. So Coinbase is actually showing me the full story. So if you go to all, we can scroll down and we can see all the way back around July 12 in 2020. You could have got this thing around $8, $9, and you would have been sitting on it for some time, but it would have gave you a huge payoff. Okay, so a lot of people have been buying at the top and now they're very concerned about ICP. And I would say I understand the concern. Of course, everyone knows that we had a correction, a mass market correction. So it doesn't speak just for ICP. A lot of people are not understanding that. ICP isn't the only one that made this massive correction. So I don't think it's speaking toward the project being now a bad project. I just see a huge buying opportunity. I think it's taking a correction because one, yes, the market was a little overinflated, but now the price of $750, I think that was a little too fast for ICP as well, because just because it's not a $750 project doesn't mean it can't recover and now become a $500 project, So I think it's going to find some even ground before we start to hit these heights again pretty soon. And I just wanted to give you this full story here because we did start off at a place back around $12, $9, like I said earlier. It wasn't just up at $750 and just took a huge downward steep spiral. Okay, so now let me get over to the TradingView chart and let me get into a little more detail. Okay, so I'm over here on TradingView, and like I said, back on May 10th, that is when the correction first was happening. So excuse the chart for not showing the full story, but what we see is continually steadily fell down, and it looked like has not shown any consolidation as of yet. So in a lot of my projects right now, what I've been looking for is after these huge dips, I want to see some consolidation, right? So consolidation means it needs to start trading sideways in order for me to be comfortable for it to go higher. So what we had now was a continued downward moving motion, right? And it looked like it may start to continue to move sideways, but we don't know as of yet. Right now, all it's showing us is that it has not broken past its local high. Okay, so what we can possibly do is continue to move downward until we find some kind of stable ground. Now, I don't want it to move downward. If it does continue to move downward, then you now have new buying opportunities. But if you have money on the sideline and you're just waiting to see when you're going to jump in, I think you need to wait to see where the dagger is going to stop falling, and then you want to start to see some steady sideways movement. Once it starts trading sideways for a while, you want to start seeing it move upward, breaking past some type of previous highs. Okay, so we can possibly have found our bottom. It's a possibility right here at this point around $58, we can be seeing some type of sideways action here. Now, I'm not a fortune teller, but what we can possibly see is this looks like it's starting to try to trade sideways, but until it starts to break above some of these heights here, okay, or right here in that area, once we start to see some break movements past these points, then I can say, okay, we're in consolidation mode. We have now found a bottom, and now we're gonna wait to see if we're gonna start breaking upward to the upside, and we're gonna now become bullish. But until then, we don't know. My guess is we're gonna continue moving downward a little more, find a bottom, and then consolidate. Now let me look at the indicators. here on my wave trend indicator, it looks like we have broken above the 0 line around, let's see, around June 13th. So it's a possibility that we are finding a bottom here. If you can follow my arrow or my circles, it looks like we could possibly find that bottom. And what we did was crack above the 0 line, showing that the trend is now reversing, and it is currently now back below the 0 line. But what we want to see is if it's going to stay below there for too long, or it's going to break back above just to take a little breather and continue to go upward. Okay, looking at the stochastics RSI, let me throw a 50 line on there. Boom. All right, so what we're seeing on the stochastics RSI is currently showing that we are in oversold regions. And again, we want to see if it breaks above this 50, because it's going to show momentum is now going back bullish. We want to start seeing some bounces. Of course, it's going to continue to go back through that 50 line, but the more bounces we see and touches above that 50, we see momentum is now moving back bullish. So only time will tell. I see here in this cluster, it actually is showing me that boom, that we actually made a little bounce there on the 50, and we came up, we made a higher bounce, and then we traded back below the 50. So this may show that there's nice momentum gaining for us to now consolidate. Okay, so what we want to see is this continue to now break above and do what I just said, is start to now continue to make these bounces above the 50. That's going to be very, very bullish for ICP. Now, let me give you a price target, because if these indicators are showing me correctly that this may be a bottom, like I said, it's still a possibility that it's going to go down lower, because market sentiment, a lot of people have bought in higher. They're not sure if they want to stay in anymore. So just psychologically, I feel like the market is still going to be in a dumping stage right now. It's still bleeding a little bit. Once we get all of those people out, then it can stabilize before going higher. But right now, I'm going to use this key point because my indicators are showing that it's a possibility that the bleeding can stop in this area. So let's get the price targets. So just finished cleaning up the chart. What I'm going to show you is some levels of resistance that we have to hit before we can continue to move upward. So once we hit these resistance levels, they will now become support levels. So let me just draw these out for you. The first level of resistance, as you can see, price had tried to break past this level. And what I see here is it was going off that, which is our first resistance level of $72. It has to break past this point here so we can show that the bleeding has stopped and it continue to move upward. The next level is going to be this key area of $85. $85 is going to be a psychological level, and it's also huge because this range is showing that price does not want to go back above that as of right now. So that's going to be a huge level as well. The next level here is going to be this target zone of around $106. Not just this zone, but it also shows all in this zone we have a number of touches that is all touching between that 106 to 101. So let's just call it $100 to around $111 that this level has to touch. This one wants blood. This one is not letting the herd go by easy. So let's just say within this zone we have a strong resistance block, and it's going to start off around 106, or it could even start off around 104. I can definitely see it zooming into the $100 range because that's also psychological, but our charts is going to show that 104 to 106 is going to be the real target number that it needs to break past. Now, those are my short-term price targets that I think this thing needs to hit in order to recover into the summer months. If it starts to do that small recovery, I think the next major level is going to be $207. That is where we made a huge dip here. We tried to do a V-shaped recovery. We were rejected and we continued to go down further. And as you can see, we couldn't even break above our baseline. So this level here is going to be the key level if we see any movement coming out of ICP to try to make some all-time heights. $207, I feel like is going to be the key metric for us to go places in this altcoin season. I think ICP is a great technology, and all we can do is wait and see for where the market is going to take us. Okay, so that was my overview on Internet Computer, or ICP. Please like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, because I think this project can do some numbers. I think we're gonna be in for a good one with this technology. So like always, I'm gonna keep trying to find ways for us to make money in this crypto space. And until next time, one.